Hey y'all, Rick Houston here, and I want to tell you about my new show, the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast. I've partnered up with the state of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to help uncover the history behind moonshining mountain boys, professional wheelmen, and the backwoods and city lights of the Tar Heel State. In the first episode, I sat down with Winston Kelly at the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a little behind-the-scenes gossip about Junior Johnson's engineering skills.
He's got two things in his hand, pipe wrench and channel lock pliers. And they weren't new. They had been around the block a time or two.
Wasn't the first steel they built, I bet.
No. I think the pliers had been red before, but paint had worn off.
And in the second episode, I talked to a professional hillbilly, a.k.a. Dr. Daniel Pierce of UNC Asheville, to find out the real history of moonshiners and their battles with the revenuers.
He wrote about one of his experience of trying to chase down this bootlegger in this souped-up car, and he complained that the government gave him these piece of crap, cheapo cars, and that were really no match, but he thought he was doing pretty good, and then the guy just hits it and just takes off and practically disappeared. But then the guy makes a bootleg turn and comes back towards him. And as he said, it was a game of chicken, and I was the chicken. And so he ran off the road. And actually, he was the guy who caught Junior Johnson at his daddy's steel when Junior got tangled up in a barbed wire fence.
So check out the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast, available on YouTube, dailydownforce.com, and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And be sure to check out my regular show on NASCAR history, the Scene Vault Podcast.
Eric Estep here. One of my favorite parts of being a NASCAR fan is collecting diecasts. It's how I got my start on YouTube, actually. To me, a room is not complete until it features shelves of NASCAR diecast cars. It's as good a time as ever to continue your collection or begin an all-new one by pre-ordering your favorite driver's 2022 next-gen diecast at LionelRacing.com or at any authorized Lionel retailer. Lionel is the official diecast of NASCAR, and don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentics diecasts at a Walmart or Target near you. Not only is Lionel the official diecast of NASCAR, but they're also official supporters of the Out of the Groove podcast network. So what are you waiting for? Head to LionelRacing.com to order your favorite driver's 2022 diecast.
You're listening to Made in Level Cross, presented by Pristine Auctions. I'm Thad Moffitt.
And I'm Roland George.
And today you just get the two of us. So, what are we going to talk about?
We got so much to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. So, the last time we spoke...
I feel like you say that every episode.
What's true, is it not?
Most of the time we do have a lot to talk about.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Anyway, the last time we spoke was pre-Bristol. We ended up not going to Bristol for a variety of reasons. I'll let you get into that, but first and foremost, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good now.
Now? What do you mean, Thad?
Now that
Please
I'm back.
do tell.
Yeah, so I hate that we had to miss a handful of races. I really do. That was mainly due to just not having the funding to go. I mean, that was the reason that we weren't able to run. But with that being said, and me not running for a couple weeks, it was a good time for me to have a surgery, which I had been needing. So I had a skin graft on my heel because I was burnt at Milwaukee on my heel. My feet got so hot during the race that I ended up having to have a skin graft.
And it was a lot worse than I think you make it out to be. Yes, we're postponing all but the Phoenix race for this year, folks. You know, racing costs a lot of money, and we're just not in a position to move forward when you have no money. But the other thing is that heel of yours was a lot worse than what a lot of people may think, if people are aware that the foot was injured. So at Milwaukee, what happened with were you wearing the booties or did you forget them?
I didn't have the booties, and we ran green flag.
It was hot.
It was hot outside. Probably could have been some more heat shield under the floorboard. It was a variety of things. And I get this question all the time. I did realize my foot was getting hot, but I never had any idea that I would have third-degree burns post-race on my heel. And also, I mean, what was I supposed to do? Like, if I pull down pit road, and I'm like, man, I got to get out of the car, and my foot's so hot, the crew chief's gonna be like, "Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Get back in the car! Like, your foot's hot. Quit being a wimp, you know." And so at the time, I mean, I just continued to run, and then after the race, I got to the lounge, realized that I had a blister on my ankle that had already popped because it got so big and hot during the race. Waited a couple days, didn't go anywhere, and then I went to a wound care doctor where I went like twice a week for every 3 weeks to the wound care doctor. And finally, they referred me to a plastic surgeon, at which time I decided to go elsewhere, and I went to the Chapel Hill Burn Center, and when I got there, they said, you need to have surgery as soon as you can. So, went in Monday of, 2 weeks ago, and ended up getting a surgery on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. and was on bed rest for about 4 or 5 days. And here I am.
Yep.
I walked into the room today.
It's good to see you. Yeah, when you came from Milwaukee, it looked like just a really bad blister, right? And then I guess as time went on, went downhill from there. So very blessed you caught it in time because that could have been bad. But like, I hate to be graphic, but take us into the truck. When you're saying your foot's getting hot, what's that equivalent to? Like, I'm picturing me putting my hand on a cast iron skillet. Is it like that, or is it like a gradual heat? Like what?
It was like when you pick something up and you can feel it's hot, and you throw it back down. But in my case, I couldn't throw it back down. Do you know what I mean? Like my foot has to be there. So like, I was doing my best, like down the straightaways and stuff, to pick my heel up off the floorboard, to keep it just from touching it as much as possible. Obviously, through the corners, I would kind of try to pick it up a little bit more, but when it was time to go back to the gas, it would rest on the floorboard again. So yeah, it was difficult to keep my heel off of the floor permanently. I mean, that's just a difficult way to drive a race car, so I didn't really have much option. But it was like, yeah, when you pick up something really, really hot and you try to throw it back down, but in my case, it's just...
You couldn't.
It's like pulling something out of the oven, and it just kind of is there.
I'm glad you're okay now, and perfect opportunity for a foot sponsor or foot protection sponsor to come on board.
Or a
burn sponsor.
Yeah, some type of burn sponsor.
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Could you?
Like a burn cream?
Burn cream?
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Not icy hot. You don't want that.
Nah, that would not feel good.
That would not feel good.
But, dude, just let me tell you, I've like broken bones. I've done a lot of stupid things in my 24 years of life. And this burn has been, like, wicked painful compared to, like, anything else I've done. I've had some wicked road rash. I've broken bones, been glued together. But the burn definitely has topped it all. And I think it's just because, like, the amount of time that the pain lasts. It's not like, I mean, it hurt when I broke my leg, but it only hurt for a certain period of time, right? When I had to have my head glued, it hurt at the time, but like a week later, I don't even remember being in pain at all. It's been 6 weeks or so, something, and it still is very painful.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you're okay. Lord works in mysterious ways, is what it is. But we're excited to have you in the truck at Phoenix. I know we're prepping for SEMA. Get to see a lot of our good friends out there, including all of our friends and family at Induction Innovations. Get to do a cool appearance. BASF, SADA, Safety Clean. Am I missing anybody?
Induction Innovations.
I already said Induction Innovations. Clear the earwax out of your ears.
We'll be in a lot of booths.
There'll be a lot of booths. And hopefully we'll be stopping by some new players. We like to meet new people while we're out there. And then it is an onward trip to Phoenix to meet our friends at Pristine Auction, where you get to drive that sweet fan design paint scheme.
Yeah, I'm excited about
time.
Phoenix. It's going to be really cool.
So a championship weekend, but it'll be great to see you back in the truck. And, next year's plans, we are putting them together. A lot of moving pieces, so stay tuned for that. But got some really good opportunities for next year that we're going to pursue. But meanwhile, a lot has happened besides your injuries. NASCAR Classic is coming back to Charlotte this week, which is cool. I don't know who the driver is, but I have a feeling I know who it is. Let's just say he's got a really good head of hair. You have any guesses?
Kyle Petty.
Well, that's true. I didn't. That is true. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I'm not 100% sure it's this guy, but it's pretty dang close that we're going to get this guy. So, still no guess. You did race with his son in Trans Am.
Boris said.
Maybe. I don't know.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome if Boris did it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'd be really cool.
Might be Boris. You'll have to come out to Charlotte Motor Speedway this Saturday. The Petty's Garage Hauler will be in the fan zone at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so that should be really cool. So we got that going on. Just had the Richard Petty fan club come out this past weekend, so shout out to David Blake and all the fine fans that came out to support Petty family. They unveiled the big hat.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's pretty
really,
neat.
really cool. We've seen a bunch of them this year, so it's cool to have our own here in Level Cross now. But yeah, I think that's a good addition to the museum.
For sure. What else, man? But there's a lot of other things not so great that have happened recently. Obviously, Hurricane Helene affected a lot of friends and neighbors in western North Carolina. So hearts and prayers go out to those folks. It's going to be a long, long rebuilding process, but proud to say that Family Foundation here is leading the effort in putting together care packages, food, blankets, all the stuff these folks need to get through this really, really hard time. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. It's pretty insane, and we were really lucky that we were not affected here in the Triad. But yeah, to all of our fans in the mountains, in Asheville, in Boone, in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, our prayers and thoughts go out to you guys. And yeah, I'm happy to be part of the Petty Family Foundation group that is putting together stuff. Like, if you have anything that you just don't really use anymore at your house, these people could probably use.
Absolutely.
I had 3 garbage bags full of clothes that I sent over here. While I was at the house last week, I went through and cleaned out my closets and put together just a bunch of old clothes that I haven't worn in years and sent them up to the mountains for people that lost everything. So,
yeah, some of the things are so unrecognizable. I hate to compare disasters, but Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, those people are still feeling the effects of it, and that was in 2005, so that's almost 20 years ago, and it's sad. It's heartbreaking to see what Mother Nature can do in a matter of hours, right? I mean, roads, properties, they're gone.
Whole cities.
It's just...
Chimney Rock's gone.
Yeah, can't even fathom what these people are going through, but, we're here to help, and...
Yeah. So we went, you didn't have the luxury of going, but we went to the Oceana Air Show as well.
You did? How was that?
Dude, that was my first air show. I saw a lot of Petty fans out there. That was really cool. Appreciate everybody that listens to the podcast for coming out that could make it. I know I saw my good buddy Jim Boyle there. But yeah, it was a lot of cool. We saw the Blue Angels. It was my first air show, and we stayed on base, which was a neat thing. Like there's like a little city almost.
Oh yeah,
the bases are. So yeah, it was really, really cool to experience that and see how those guys live and watch some cool airplane tricks.
Got to drive that Ozzy show truck.
Yeah, I drove a show truck and met a lot of cool fans, signed a lot of autographs. So yeah, I was grateful to be there. Navy Exchange had us out, so that was really cool. And yeah, just getting to give back to the community a little bit there at the Oceana Air Show.
Who was flying? Was it the Thunderbirds or the
Blue Angels?
Oh,
Blue Angels.
Sweet.
Yeah, we saw the Blue Angels, and they played chicken in the air. That was pretty cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, they were doing acrobatic flips or whatever, aerobatic flips or whatever. It was pretty cool.
That was your first air show, really?
I've never been to an air show.
That is crazy. So I grew up going to air shows all the time.
I grew up going to NASCAR
Yeah,
races
exactly.
all the time.
That's right. Very cool. Well, so big thanks to Navy Exchange, Jared Ashley, Richard Reyes, Operation Positive Vibes. Definitely very cool to be a part of that. Speaking of Operation Positive Vibes, Ozzy's truck, the C10 working at the garage, I don't know if you've seen it recently, but the frame's back from paint. It's getting assembled. Suspension's in. Set the rear end off. And we actually put some Petty Blue on it last week.
I saw. Looks good.
It's coming together nicely. So the guys at the body shop are doing their work. And hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have a fully painted truck. And then it's off to get final assembly, interior, all that jazz. And we'll be rocking and rolling with Ozzy's truck once again on the road. But let's shift gears. Let's talk about Talladega. I know we're skipping some weeks, but
Kansas.
There was Kansas, but most of that stuff's all blur. I was it Bristol, Kansas? See what I'm talking about? I can't remember. Was it Bristol and Kansas and Talladega?
Yeah.
Losing track of time. Bristol, Larson put on an old-fashioned butt whooping. Almost led all the laps. Chastain was the spoiler in that race. And then we had this crazy show at Talladega. And I was telling you this morning, my boy Briscoe, he's holding on for dear life. I looked at the standings. He's not in good shape, man, but I'm going to...
He's done.
No, shush.
He's done. He's in a must-win situation.
He is. He is in a must-win.
But he was in a must-win at Darlington, too.
If anybody can do it, it's that guy. Apparently, William Byron's locked in, and then I think Bob Pocker said that I think it's Bell, Larson, and Hamlin. They're essentially locked in if they finish in the top 20 somewhere or other, 21st, or so they're pretty much a dead guarantee to move on to the next round. But it's crazy. You got Chase Briscoe, you got Cindric, who I think a lot of people, myself included, didn't think he'd get this far, but good for him. He was leading a lot of laps at Talladega. Suarez, Logano, and Elliott are shockers to me. So yeah, the playoff picture is pretty bleak for some of these guys, but I don't know. Who do you think's moving on?
I feel like the top 8 that go into the race, the top 8 will leave the top 8. I feel like the 22's done. The 99, aside from, well, he struggled at Talladega too. The last, Bristol, he ran 30th all day.
Yeah.
Kansas, somehow he pulled out a top 15 finish, but he was riding around in 30th. He has really, really struggled for some reason these last 3 or 4 races. The 2 and the 14, I would consider them in must-win situations. So unless we see something really, really crazy this Sunday, I think that those are the 4 that go home, the 22, the 99, the 2, and the 14.
Well, I'll make that prediction. I'm not going to go against my boy. So I think Chase Briscoe goes out and wins this thing in a dramatic fashion. And I think Logano, Reddick, Suarez, and Blaney go home.
Not Cindric? You think Cindric gets in over Blaney?
Yeah.
Dude, you are crazy. You are crazy.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, Blaney had a great day Sunday until he got wrecked for no reason at the end of stage 2. And at Kansas,
Blaney has won this race, but I think Cindric's going to pull something out.
it'd take a lot. It needs 30 points, minimum.
I've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
You're probably right, but I have to be contrary to what you say, right?
Yeah, I mean, you already said that you think the 14 and the bottom two in points are going to advance. And not both of them in must-wins can win, so that's going to be interesting.
That's why it's called The Big Show.
Yep.
Well, something else I wanted to discuss with you.
But the biggest race of the weekend that we can all agree on is the NASCAR Classics race, right?
That's right.
With the Petty's Garage.
Number 45, Victory Junction, Dodge Charger. Previously ran at Martinsville, 2006, by your Uncle Kyle.
Yeah, I think that we can all agree that that is the premier show at the Charlotte Roval this weekend. So come on out and watch Greg Stedman, crew chief, the 45 car, to hopefully a couple more wins. I know they race 8 o'clock on Saturday morning and after the Xfinity race on Saturday.
6 something or other.
Yeah.
If you're in the Charlotte area, you have to come out. We're
Are
gonna
they
have fun and games out there? It's going to be a good time.
Are they're practicing Friday too, right? And I know that Xfinity and Cup do absolutely nothing on Friday.
Practice on Friday, and then by no means, I don't run this show, but in my opinion, because I've seen these races, I've been to one of them, it feels like the first race is kind of like a heat race, kind of sets the tone. The main event is like the second race. I don't know if that's accurate statement or not. I asked Greg and kind of got a shoulder shrug. I mean, it's great if you do win that first race, but like at VIR, Joe Nemechek won that race, and it was kind of like, oh, that was great, right? But when we won the second race, I mean, there was the pomp and circumstance and everything. Same with Watkins Glen, from what I heard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy who wins the second race kind of is the winner of the day, but should be a good time. I get this question all the time. I don't know where it's broadcast. I don't think it's broadcast right now. I know they're working on that, so appreciate everyone's patience. We sponsor the series. We don't run the series. I know NASCAR's hard at work at trying to find some place to broadcast it, whether it's YouTube or, was it MAV TV? Is that
I do know that if you have Race Monitor,
yes,
you can keep up with timing and scoring on your phone.
So do that. That should be a good time.
We'll be right back. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Pristine Auction is the most trusted sports memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Auctions on pristineauction.com start at just $1. And each day, thousands of signed items are available. So you win signed, authentic items at affordable prices. Every item on pristineauction.com comes with a certificate of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators.
PristineAuction.com is your one-stop shop for all authentic signed diecast, helmets, trading cards, photos, and so much more of your favorite drivers.
Okay, Thad, I am looking at some really cool items of Pristine, but something's got me really interested. It is a racing-related item because I love NASCAR racing. I'm looking at Davey Allison's signed 8x10 photo. It's of him and his famous Texaco Ford Thunderbird at Daytona. It's signed, PSA included. The bid's currently $66.15, so still within my price range to snatch up. What about you? What you got?
That is a really cool product. I have a Davey Allison t-shirt, but on Pristine, I'm looking at a Jordan Love signed jersey. Those of you that know me know that I'm a really big Packers fan, and coming off the big win this past weekend, so yeah, Jordan Love signed custom frame jersey.
Upgrade your collection today and get $10 off your first win using registration code THAD. Again, that's registration code THAD for $10 off your first order. Links are in the show notes.
Oh my God, this is so good.
What are you eating?
Some tasty duck, Thad. What do you think?
Some of America's tastiest duck.
That's right. So for our friends at Joe Jurgowitz & Son, raising America's tastiest duck is the family business. As a fourth-generation family-owned company, Joe Jurgowitz & Son is proud to sponsor Thad Moffitt in the number 46 truck and proud to offer our podcast listeners 20% off at tastyduck.com. So visit tastyduck.com to shop Joe Jurgowitz and Sons' delicious range of whole ducks, duck parts, and more. At checkout, enter the code THAD in all caps for 20% off. Again, go to tastyduck.com, enter THAD to get America's tastiest duck delivered to your door for how much off, Thad?
20% off.
20% off, baby. Visit tastyduck.com and make sure you keep on quacking. Quack, quack.
Induction Innovations is a leader in American-made handheld induction heaters, home to the original Mini Duck. For over 20 years, they have been innovating how mechanics can tackle challenges like Loctite, rust, and much more.
Induction Innovations Mini Ductor series was meant to free up components quickly using induction heat. The Mini Ductor is designed to help techs cut down on ticket times and say, forget that torch.
Induction Innovations. Do it faster, do it better, do it safer. Visit theinductor.com to learn more.
We're in the season, my favorite season. Spooky season. Halloween, October, pumpkins, all that good stuff. The air gets crisper and colder at night. Do you like this season?
Yeah, I like fall. I don't know that Halloween's my
You're a
favorite
big
holiday.
Halloween guy?
No, my favorite holiday is the July 4th holiday. I love to celebrate America because I love America.
Well, as much as I love America, I prefer Halloween.
Yeah, you seem like the type of guy that just loves pumpkin spice everything.
I am that guy.
And Halloween is your favorite holiday.
It is.
You probably love to carve pumpkins.
Yep.
And that's just not really my speed, you know. I don't like getting all the pumpkin seeds and the goo out of it. And yeah, it was fun when I was a kid, but not anymore.
So you'd say you love 4th of July is what you're stating, right?
The 4th of July is probably my favorite holiday.
Gotcha. And you love America, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know America was not founded on July 4th? Did that just blow your mind there?
You did.
July 2nd is when they actually wrote the Declaration of Independence. They read it on July 4th to the public, and then they signed it. Everyone got together and signed it because all the colonies were so far apart. August.
Do you know what else is significant about July 2nd?
That is the King's birthday.
That is Richard Petty. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Do you think in some
I don't
weird
think that
way,
is I don't think that's a coincidence that two of the greatest things America's ever seen was founded on the same day.
So you're saying by some kind of divine providence, your grandfather was born the same day America was technically born?
Yeah, that's what you just told me.
I'd agree with that.
It's pretty neat. Neat stat. I did not know.
I think your grandfather would agree. He's as American as apple pie. And that's not an American either, by the way. I just realized that after saying it. We could talk about apple pie, too.
No.
Anyway, fall, I love it. I don't care if you do or not. I would
like
think
fall.
I would think you would, because isn't it like a great hunting season?
Yeah, I mean, I said I like fall. I started out by saying I really like fall.
Well, if people could see at home your look that you gave me, like, oh, I like fall.
No, I mean, I like fall. It doesn't have to be all about Halloween.
July.
You know, Thanksgiving is a good holiday, too. That is in fall.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
not
good
bad,
holiday.
but it's not Halloween.
Yeah. Well, contrary to what you believe, I think Thanksgiving is better than Halloween.
Oh, how dare you.
I love to give thanks.
I love America, and I love to give thanks. What's your third favorite holiday, Thad?
Valentine's Day, because I love my wife, or my fiance.
You know what, then?
You know why?
You know what?
You know
my
why?
favorite holiday is Easter, because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he rose from the dead on Easter. And you know what my second favorite holiday is?
What?
Christmas, because that's my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was born. So that tops all your garbage, okay? America, your wife. God love Lauren, but
Listen, man, you don't understand. Our Valentine's Day isn't only about the loved ones. It signifies race season starting, which is always one of my favorite weeks of the year.
God, here we go.
Listen, we spent Valentine's Day my whole life in Daytona Beach.
I spent Valentine's Day with you on.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
year.
Yeah, on the way to race. Like, what's so bad about that?
I asked you about spooky season, and we're getting off on holiday debates here.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
you keep asking me these random questions.
That's what I do. That's what I'm here for, right? I ask you questions.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I know you might not like Halloween. You probably hate Halloween.
No,
despise Halloween.
I didn't say that. I'm just not big on
We're
dressing up.
establishing you hate Halloween. But anyway,
No.
what's your favorite thing about Halloween? The holiday you despise. What's one good takeaway you can give us?
Well, there's several good takeaways. I didn't say I hated Halloween. I don't hate any holidays.
Your face says it.
I think that eating way too much candy is awesome on Halloween. And I like to see what people come up with as costumes. I love homemade costumes versus like going to Party City and buying something. Like when people make their own costumes, I think that's really cool.
What's a good homemade costume?
You kind of put me on the spot here. I don't know. I mean, that's for them to come up with and create. I like to see them.
You think I could pull off being you for Halloween?
Probably. You could try it.
What should I do if I were to do that, pursue that endeavor? What would you suggest?
I guess you would find a picture of me, either in or out of race uniform,
Okay.
and you would dress like me. But you would have to have red hair and a shaved face to make that work.
I think I can do that. Can I be pre-2020 Thad Moffitt? When did you have the long hair?
You can.
The Pippi Longstockings look.
Yeah, like 2019.
Was that 2019? That was right.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID Thad.
Yeah. It was chopped off 2 months into 2020, I believe.
So I do have that option. You'd allow that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I encourage everyone out there to send in their best Thad Moffitt Halloween costumes.
I'd like to see them. Send them my way. I'd like to see what you guys come up with.
You know, Joey Jurgowicz's son, Joseph, he's got a Tasty Duck fire suit. He could be you for Halloween.
He really could.
He probably will be you for Halloween.
He probably will.
Joe, if you're listening to this, please let that happen. That'd be pretty awesome. He could knock it off the park. I don't know. I'm debating being you or somebody here for Halloween.
You could be Boyd. That would be a great costume for you.
All right, you want to hear something funny? So Boyd tries to scare me all the time here. I try to get him back, but it never works. He put on a stinking Halloween mask that it didn't scare me, but in the right area and time of day would have been pretty scary. I'll have to show it to you after the podcast. It's like this Frankenstein thing.
Do you like scary movies?
I do. I like some of the cheesy ones, but I also like the true, or they could be true, like the paranormal stuff. I'm not big into like the slasher movies.
Yeah.
They're just too over the top. But I like the paranormal and true crime-esque horror movies. They're pretty cool. But definitely look forward to that. So yeah, Halloween. What did you guys do for Halloween?
We went trick-or-treating like everybody else.
Where do you go trick-or-treating at?
Growing up, I lived in a neighborhood. So it made a lot more sense just to stay in the neighborhood. But there's a couple of big neighborhoods in the area that we would visit to trick-or-treat. And just kind of everybody shuts down the streets and walks through the streets and collects candy in their little pumpkin basket. And we would carve pumpkins, and my mom would bake the pumpkin seeds. Yeah, when I was growing up, that's what I would do.
Sounds like your mom likes Halloween.
Now I hand out candy to kids that come to my house.
It's funny you say that. So apparently that's like a downward spiraling trend with Americans, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that is.
It's going more towards the trunk or treat, which everyone knows about, but
We did those too. We did those at like church.
I never did that growing up. I guess I'm not of the generation that experienced trunk or treat. It was always door to door, and then I don't know, fizzled out. I don't think I've had trick or treaters since I've lived down here. It's kind of sad.
But you don't really live in a neighborhood, do you? You kind of live like off of a main road.
I live in the ghetto, yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be like a great.
It's scary enough.
Yeah, that's not a great place for like people to just drop your kid off right here and let him run to the door.
I will have candy at my door if anyone wants it. I'll make it available because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Very festive. Did your parents ever dress up or not really?
Yeah, they dressed up, but I don't remember what they dressed up as.
I really wanted to know what your mom and dad, especially your dad, dressed up. Your dad struck me as a guy who like dressed up like a vampire.
Probably like Elvis.
Elvis.
He's a big Elvis guy.
He's a big Elvis guy?
He loves Elvis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Would he know some Elvis trivia, or is he just like music?
He probably would know Elvis trivia. We had to go visit that place.
Graceland.
Yeah, we had to go there when I raced in Memphis.
Recently or years ago?
2020, 2021. I think it was 2020. Yeah.
Fun fact.
It was David Gillen. I ran fourth. It would have been 2020.
He made you go to Graceland.
Yeah, it was the requirement of us going there was we had to go to Graceland.
You will go to Graceland.
Yeah.
And you will enjoy it. You will learn about Elvis. You listen to Elvis?
No.
It's a shame.
I do listen to the Eagles, which is another one of his favorite bands.
See, I don't like the Eagles at all.
I guess you two would disagree on that.
I'm like the dude from The Big Lebowski. You're not a movie guy either, apparently. I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll be talking before Halloween, because I want to give you a Halloween present. So, I don't think right now is the time, but
Do people do that?
I do.
So do I need to go get you a gift?
No. There's no reciprocity involved. It's just...
But I didn't realize that people give gifts at Halloween. Like Christmas, I understand.
It's called a boo basket.
What?
It's called a boo basket.
I am not giving you a boo basket. I don't know what that is, but no. It's something from the heart, man. Because I love Halloween so much.
Oh, I can get you. I'll get you a
I don't want
basket.
anything from you. I don't know what a boo basket is, okay?
You like weird candies, though, man. I can't find them. Like I'd have to drive up north to get what you want.
I love the Reese's pumpkins or eggs or not the cups. I mean, I'll eat a peanut butter cup, but you know what I'm talking about?
Have you seen the ones recently with caramel and peanut butter?
No, I would not do that. I'm not a big caramel guy.
Yeah, because you're crazy.
No, in fact, we're going off so many tangents right now, but somebody was eating a what are those caramel candies called? With the Werther's Original. And I remember you said you liked those a lot, right?
I love them.
I don't know if it was a fan or an employee who had a big handful of them, and I said, "Oh my God, I hate those things." Thad eats those things, and they agreed. They're like, "This is the best candy in the world." But I'll back up. I don't think it was Werther's. It was like a knockoff Werther's, because Werther's is okay. That's got that buttery caramel, which is pretty good. I'm talking about like those type that your grandparents would have. You know, it's like a gold wrapper. They're like the dollar store version of a caramel.
I know what you're talking about.
You like those too?
I like, caramels. I like caramels. This is good candy. I like caramel in my ice cream. Caramel in my chocolate bar.
I do like, there's a drink that I make for the spooky season. It's caramel apple spiked
I like caramel
punch.
in my apples.
You'd probably like this drink.
Well, Roland, I think we've said it all for today.
I think we have. I think we got a lot of good stuff out there. And,
a lot to consider before we get into the 2025 race season.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely stay tuned. I'm sure you'll be seeing something here in the next couple months from me telling you guys what I have going on for next year. And you have any parting words of wisdom today, Eugene?
You got me. Parting words of wisdom. Make sure you wear your booties when you're driving in a race car. to protect your feet. Make sure you visit a doctor if you feel like something's wrong. Don't wait. Does that ring a bell with you?
Yeah, I feel like that was very direct.
Lessons learned. There's been a lot of lessons learned this year.
That was directed towards me, for sure.
Well, I'm sure there's somebody out there who's experienced something similar to that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom, Thaddeus?
Don't forget to plug your phone in at night, or your alarm won't go off in the morning.
It's very good words to live by, my friend.
Yeah, great words to live by. Thank you for listening to Made in Level Cross. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all of your favorite streaming platforms. And follow me on social media at Thad Moffitt 46.